Well, thank you all. That's probably the largest rendition of Happy Birthday I've had, so thank you. It was pretty on key, too.
Yeah, you notice I wasn't near the mic.
It was great. No,
Yeah.
thank you. And Lisa, thanks for mentioning our grandson, Rowan. When the world sometimes seems upside down or inside out, all you got to do is hold a newborn and regain your perspective on things. And, it's a beautiful thing to witness the next generation of Alaskans being born, as little Rowan was yesterday here in Anchorage. And so we give thanks for his birth to our daughter Grace and her husband Austin. They're going to be wonderful parents, and I look forward to the future that Rowan is going to have here. There's nothing also like celebrating some of the results that we have had together. And Lisa, you went through some of them, and I want to just speak to a few of those today. And I've always kind of kept a map of Alaska in my head as I've thought about the economic opportunity that we have been blessed to help create together. I think about Point Thompson. If I start on the North Slope and I think about 5 years ago, there was nothing there. We worked together, all of us, to resolve that litigation. And today, as I had a chance to visit this last summer, today facilities are there. Thousands of new jobs really have been created across the years, and we have the cornerstone of an Alaska LNG project, a large volume gas line. So you can go there today and you'll see facilities where 5 years ago they weren't there. And that's a tribute to the companies and the people and Alaskans who have made that possible. And then go across to the west on the North Slope, and anybody you speak to says that there is more activity there, more construction activity, more job activity than there's been in 3 decades. And that is an awesome tribute to your good work, as well as our administration and legislators. And I would be remiss if I didn't just kind of stop right there at the North Slope area of our state when I mentioned legislators. And I don't know if you've had a chance to recognize or welcome them, but they have been an integral part of making sure that we have an investment climate, a competitive climate here where new jobs and new opportunities are created. And I know that several of you are in the audience today. I had a chance to shake the hand of House Speaker Mike Chenault, and at the risk of missing somebody, if you're an Alaska legislator, would you please stand up and be recognized for me and for the rest of the group here? It takes a huge partnership, both within our administration as well as with legislators and of course, with industry organizations and other private sector and nonprofit groups to create the kind of legacy economy here that our kids and our grandkids and future generations can enjoy together. And so going back to that map of Alaska, as I spoke to the opportunity that we've had a hand in creating across the North Slope, I come then to Fairbanks, and I think about the Interior Energy Project, where natural gas is on track today for delivery to Fairbanks by 2016. That is huge. That's the anchor so that we can then get that lower cost energy to the river system communities as well as to the highway system communities. Coming then down to South Central, and I think about the Kenai. And with the Cook Inlet tax reforms of several years back that I worked with legislators on, to make sure that those occurred. The new Cook Inlet renaissance that's gone on, and if you drive out the North Road at Nikiski and you see all that new construction out there and you see the economic activity on the peninsula, you just can't help but understand that there is economic possibility and economic potential here that was not there before. The same thing here for Anchorage and for the Mat-Su Valley, where and just hearing from people who have new job opportunities, and I've seen one person already in the audience who said that as a result of the work that we did on the More Alaska Production Act, his son has the opportunity to work 612s that wasn't there before, and that to me is awesome. But then think about Southeast and Southern Southeast. In Ketchikan, today we now have the foundation for a marine industry we didn't have before. We've got a shipbuilding yard, Vigor, Alaska in Ketchikan, that will be building 2 Alaska ferries for our Alaska Marine Highway System. All of this, to me, just speaks of possibility and opportunity for Alaskans. And the Resource Development Council has been there all the way on these initiatives. And I started to look at some of the policies we've worked together on that have these policies and the work we've done together have knit together new opportunity for Alaskans. And I'm going to go through some of these because as I went through the last 5 years and looked at the work we've done together, I got pretty excited about Alaska's future. We even started off our relationship by me coming in at the end of a 20-year battle that you had been waging with several of your member companies to open the Kensington mine. When I opened up as governor, we took that last step of filing with the Supreme Court to get that mine open, and today we've got hundreds of employees hundreds of Alaskans that work there. Together we opposed cap-and-trade legislation. We fought the EPA over improper Endangered Species Act listings in critical habitat areas. They were using and still use the ESA as a land use planning tool rather than a Species Protection Act. We sought more wilderness and wildlands legislation that would have locked more Alaskans out of opportunity. We set policy that brought back the cruise ships to fuel Alaska's small businesses. And what a joy to see that we're back in the game for many more visitors to our state. I mentioned the policies that have brought new gas and new explorers to Cook Inlet. We shine the light on opportunities for Alaska's strategic minerals and made more timber jobs possible than the path we were on. Remember in this room, I think, when we had the Sacketts here, because we fought for private property rights together to make sure that we could actually develop our private property and do it well. We fought the federal moratorium that stopped all action in the Arctic OCS, and that is one area that we still need to keep pushing together to make sure that we can get exploration and development of the Arctic Outer Continental Shelf. I did set an audacious goal here before this body of 1 million barrels per day. And I was chided for thinking so hugely about our potential as Alaskans. But I think and I know that we can get there, especially when we have just turned the corner this last year on stemming production decline. We need to keep, I was once told that if you shoot for nothing, that's where you're going to get. If you shoot for 1 million barrels a day, when we were on our way from 560,000 barrels a day down, if you're shooting for 1 million, you're going to more likely get there than if you had done nothing and if you had not set a goal for yourself. So I think we're on our way there. Together, we fought for years for a more competitive tax regime, and you helped put that over the goal line last August. We completed a 5-year plan for deferred maintenance. We built a new road to the Yukon River that spans much of that distance between Manly and Tanana, extended the road in Juneau to Cascade Point. Thousands of high school students today now have an opportunity with the Alaska Performance Scholarship. They have an opportunity to earn that by setting higher standards for themselves, by taking more difficult courses, and then using those Alaska Performance Scholarships for job training programs or for the university. More than 3,000 young people have earned that opportunity. Thousands of Alaskans are safer today, having escaped the fear and shame of domestic violence and sexual assault. So as I kind of went through that list, I couldn't help but be so proud of you and Alaskans for working together. For these policies are not a one-man show or one man's vision. These are Alaskan policies. These are policies that Alaskans grasp, build, and go after together. And the RDC has been a huge part of making this economic potential, this economic growth possible that our state has been experiencing. And as I think about the future, it is uncertain, absolutely, after an election, but you know what? We have got huge potential in our resource base. That hasn't changed. We've got a huge group of Alaskans here and across this state who want to grasp that potential together and who want us to live for that potential. I'm one of those Alaskans. I get to, in just a couple weeks now, 2 weeks, I get to step up to being a citizen again. I like that. And when I think about the transition, I did want to let you know, I'll tell you the same thing I told the governor-elect, Bill Walker, on Saturday when I met with him. I let him know how much I love this land and her people. I let him know how much I love the institutions of our republic, and that I would do everything I could to respectfully and in an orderly fashion make the transition from the Parnell-Treadwell administration to the Walker-Malott administration. We provided office space, passcode keys to that office space. We provided the resources necessary. Even today within our offices, we've been working to make sure that they know that there are resources available, lists, people, protocol for a swearing-in ceremony, even down to that detail. So I will do everything I can to make sure that the transition is orderly before stepping up to citizen again. And then finally, I want to just say a big thank you to a few people. First, let me see, is my wife Sandy here? Because I know you were going to make it here. Sandy. Sandy, my wife, the First Lady of Alaska, has served so well. She has given her heart to Alaskans, the children of Alaska, as well as the people of Alaska. And if you would just give her your thanks and warmth. To my office staff, just a huge thank you there. You know, we have some of the finest people around, and in fact, last night we got together with the Anchorage office to say thank you to them, and I had a chance to just speak to them about the integrity with which they carry themselves and the competence and the respect with which they treat each other. And my desire was for those that wanted to continue on and could continue on in the next administration, that they would do so, and for those who would be then moving on to other workplaces, that they would take those same high standards, same high expectations for themselves and for the others around them, and that they would make this place a better land for them having served in this administration. I know they'll do that. You know, to my leadership team, the direct leadership team, the people that I spent most of my time with in terms of just the day-to-day operations and working on your behalf, people like my chief of staff, Mike Nizick, Cindy Sims, Heather Brakes, Karen Rayfeld, John Moeller, Randy Ruaro, and of course my cabinet. If those people that I've named are here, or if any other cabinet members are here, would you stand up and receive the thanks of this group for your great work as well? That means everybody up, please. Come on. I know you're here. There are more. And so I just want to conclude. I promised I wouldn't speak very long. I'm still not getting paid by the hour, like I used to as an attorney. I'm a recovering attorney, and I still plan to be that when I'm done. But I did want to say a huge thank you to all of Alaska, and thank you to you here in this room who have supported us and joined us in this great work to create more economic opportunity and stronger families here in this state. And as Sandy and I relocate from the rainforests of Southeast and return to the wide open spaces of South Central, as we welcome the newest addition of our family, our grandson, we are filled with joy and anticipation for Alaska's future. And I can tell you that even now, 2 weeks after the election, that she and I are both filled with such thankfulness for the opportunity to have served you. We're thankful to have been entrusted with this office and as a couple as well to walk this path. We see it as simply the honor of a lifetime. I said that in my concession statement. And we are humbly grateful for the opportunity. We will continue to be a part of the community. We're going to continue to, I described to some news reporters today, the beauty of where I am now is that I have no specific plan forward, but I can continue to focus on creating economic opportunity, on these priorities that I established for our administration, but I can do it within the context of the private sector and the nonprofit world as well. And so I just want to say a final thanks. Stay strong, stay fearless, stay true to what matters, stay Alaskan, and thank you RDC, for all you are and all that you will be in the future. God bless you.